Right, back on the sunroof. Addition from the previous video, concentrating more on the other bits than the sunroof I did. But I'm going to start back with this video now, show you where we're up to with the roof lining part of the sunroof roof lining fit. And you can see on here, I've cut out the centre. This is the piece I've cut out in the middle here. I'll get it on there. We can just bring the video camera around. As you can see now, there's no you know, cut it all out of here, and I carefully cut all the way down inside the groove here where you know, where you can't see as such, you know, as you can see along this line. And it cut out okay, no problems there. Settle that down again, and it's looking okay, you know what I mean. Like I said, this is an adaptation of fitting this type of sunroof, which isn't meant for this, like we keep repeating, but it isn't actually meant for this cloth type of sunroof. It's meant for the mouldy type. And fundamentally, as I said, what we've done is we trapped it really between the top frame where we put the sunroof on and its support, you know, its clamping frame underneath. We've actually trapped the material between the two, tightened it up, and it's pretty rigid. It's not, you know, now I've cut it, it's not all relaxed and gone there. It's trapped it nicely between there and there, which is, you know, what the guy told me to be okay, and that's what we've done. So, you know, we'll call that, you know, sunroof done. So, you know, we're just concentrating on this roof lining fit, and there's a couple of things on the roof lining fit here that I'm not concerned about, but you know, I've obviously got to point out. And this being, with putting this sunroof in and trapping it the way we've done, it's pulled the material in a bit from the side, a little bit more on the driver's side than it did on the passenger side. And I think probably what happened doing it is when I first tried to put the frame on there, it was too tight. I'd already put some tension in the roof, and it was too tight, so I had to release the tension, and I released the driver's side first, you know, the right hand side over here like first, and I think it pulled a little bit this way. So the problem I've got, not much of a problem, but it's about 5mm further over one side than it is on the other, and I can't do anything about it now. I've just about got enough material over there to secure it and cover it. It's not, you know, all's not lost. It's going to be okay, but I think if if you're going to go this way with this kind of fit, when you do it, you know, just don't put as much tension in your roof before you try and push the frame underneath to clamp it, because it's too much and you can't get the frame in. And fundamentally, you know, just be careful you don't do the same trick as, like, you know, release the clamps and allow it to just move off centre. Else, you know, I've been lucky. It's moved a bit, but I'm still okay. But you know, it could have gone a little bit more, and I would have been, you know, maybe too short on one side than the other side. And once you've trapped it in here, it's too late. You know, it's the only way around that is another roof lining, which, you know, thank God at £100 a time, then we've got away with it. But I think that, you know, something, you know, you got to be aware of, like so. So up to now, you know, all that's done. I've cut the centre out like I just said, and now we're going to go around slowly pulling this tight and gluing it. And I'm using super glue on mine, because I tested a little bit last night and stuck it onto the body paintwork, and super glue, I've had a job get it off this morning, so you know, the super glue really does get a grip of it, like, so I'm happy with that. So we're slowly going to stick on these side pieces like we were, which I've got all, you know, more spare material for now, and you know, put the bits in. So I'll be, in this video, I'll be it'll be stopping and starting kind of thing. I'll try and... Alright, here we go. So a little bit more on this video what we've done up to now. As you can see, what I'm showing, the trim what I've put in down sort of the B post there, obviously, so it'll fill in that little gap between the door cards what I've made. And obviously if you ever do this, you're going to have to work out how far, you know, how much of the body metal you're going to have to cover before you you know, so you've covered it up and it looks nice. But you know, we've done all the B pillars there. That's the A pillar at the front there. I'm going to start pulling all the roof lining back in tight now. Come across here, and you can see we've all gone round there. And what I've done, slightly different than what the factory, I've put some foam behind these here, which gives it this like cushioned look. Obviously the door seals go along here and push that in even tighter. But you know, I think it looks a bit better with a cushioned look on it. It's only a little bit of foam, you know, no, it's a bit bigger than that. Maybe 5 mil thick. It's just a bit of some I've had lying about, and I decided, you know, the other day I thought I'll try and see how it looks. There you go. There's the side of there again. Just decide how it looks too. And I was quite impressed with it, so we decided to do it back on the stand, and that's, you know, I think, you know, it gives that more modern, certainly better when it's, you know, it's got a bit of cushion on it. You know, the safety regs, if you're allowed, they need cushioning, don't you, around the vehicle to stop any injuries. We don't really think that, we don't really want that to happen, but you do never know, do you? Like, but I just think it looks neater, and all I'm using is I don't know whether everybody's familiar with this. This is I've got my super glue somewhere. Anyway, it's just standard super glue I'm using, and this is called Mighty Fast. It basically sends your super glue off very quickly. So, you know, once you've you know, you've applied your glue and you've got the tension on your material, which is springy. This is, you know, it's flexible. What you want to do, you don't want to stand there, you know, 5 minutes while the super glue goes off. Well, you put this on, and literally speaking, it's gone off in seconds. You know, if you just hold it over there, and I'm not sure how you apply it, but what you normally do there is apply your super glue to the surface, and then you spray that on the other side. You know, it can go on. It can flash over to the super glue you put on there. It doesn't matter. All it does is an accelerator. It just sends it off quicker. I'm not sure. You know, you may have all have heard of it. I might be, you know, teaching you something that everybody knows about. But it's definitely, you've got to do it with this, because holding the tension on this and checking, make sure it's right. You've not put any you know, creases in it, wrinkle in it, anything like that. You want this stuff to, you know, go off quickly and hold firmly, so you know it's not going to let go on you. And you know, that's kind of what I've used. So that's like the next bit of this little trilogy. We just keep showing a bit and turning off, because you can't just watch me doing it. Up to now, the material I got from I bought my roof lining from Rimmers. I'm sure everybody knows who Rimmers are, and they send roof lining plus some strips, obviously, for doing these pillows, the A pillows. Well, up to now I've used all that, and all the material from the A pillars is kind of done, you know, from the material I've got from Rimmers. So, you know, if you're careful, you won't. There will be enough material to cover all the parts that need to be covered just on the kit that they send you. You've not got much spare, I will say. You've got to be careful where you're going with it, but there is enough material there to do the job. That's a fact. You might think you're getting a bit short, but yes, you will get short, but there is enough. That's where we're going. So we've put all that bit. That's taken me, time-wise, hour and a half, maybe, hour and 3/4 to do those 4 pillars. And and that's, you know, measuring, cutting to size, cutting my sponge to size, gluing, clamping, you know, and all that lot. It's taken about, you know, call it 2 hours just to do that. You know, this is not a quick job. It's the first time I've ever done it, but I don't think it's a quick job for people who do it all the time. So, you know, so far so good. And you know, I'm going to have some lunch now, and then we're going to start tensioning the actual roof from, you know, where it needs to be tensioned. It's slightly different with when you've got the sunroof in here now, and you know, I've trapped it under. Normally you would put your crossbars in, and then there's a proper name for them, and there's something beginning with an M, and I can't quite think of it. Doesn't matter. It's just the steel bars, the springy bars that go across from side to side. If you take your roof lining off, you'll see them. You've got to put them back in, and what you do with them is obviously you put them in, and under this front part of the bonnet there's 2 hooks that are, you know, welded onto the roof. You hook the front one behind them, and then you tension it all from the back. Oh, excuse me. Good heavens. You tension it all from the back, and then pull it out to the sides, and you know, and then obviously the bits and pieces you work out. But that's fundamentally how you do it. But because I've got the sunroof in it, you know, you pulled it back as far to put a little bit of tension in. Now I'm pulling it up, so I've got to tension it from back and front, if you like, and sides to get my tension in there. And that's because I've got a sunroof. So a little bit of a difference there, but I think, you know, if you haven't got it, all you've got to do is put your three M, can't remember the name, begins with an M for the bars that go across, doesn't matter, and then just pull it to the back, pull your tension into it from there, and then fundamentally you're then working it around, all the way around, so you're pulling it tight to pull out the creases, pull out the dodgy bits. You know, this is quite difficult on this, because where this has gone tight here on these radiuses, it's actually tried to bring it in and cause a ripple. I don't want it, and I'm hoping I can get them out. If I can't, I can't. I'm not going to start ripping the bloody sunroof to make it, but you'll get it as good as I possibly can, and we'll see with the results at the end of it like. So I'll pause the video again now, and we'll come back when we've done a little bit more, and I'll kind of show what I've, you know, the stage I'm up to now. So I'll see you in a bit. Another update on this roof lining job. Well, this will be the last bit, because I've just about done it now. A lot of cleaning up to do, that core thing, you know, but nothing more extravagant than that, you know. We'll say, you know, it's kind of gone okay. It's not a job that, you know, you're going to look forward to every day, because it's not one of them kind of jobs you're going to look forward to. But you know, it's doable by anybody. You know, you don't have to be a superhero bodywork guy to do it. You can, you know, just use your noggin, don't you? So I'm just I'll take the camera off, and we'll have a quick look round, and then I'll just kind of quickly go through the kind of things that I think are do's and don'ts, you know, and kind of where I've had a problem, like, you know. So was it over? Right, as you can see now, you know, we're kind of, and I got my trim on. I've just put the door seals on that side just to see how it looks with my padding I put on. I'm very pleased with that. That's come out okay. You see, we've not no ripples in it, kind of, you know. Coming out that side, and there's the sort of the sunroof with the. I'm trying to get that into frame there. That's within the, you know, the focus to see what it is. And come around the other side, you know, I get these side pieces in there. Now that line there, what you can see is where the interior chrome grille goes, you know. It's on there, same on both sides. You can see just on that. Come from this side, you can see back into there. And kind of come around this side. I just want to show you where this, get it like zoomed into where this padding is really. I don't know whether you can really see it as it is, but now the reason I put the door seal in there is just see how this padding looks, and I think it's come off really well. Definitely an idea worth doing. without a shadow of a doubt. Slight wrinkle there, but we've got to have all the horses to go in there yet. Obviously the door seal for this little rear quarter. But you know, generally speaking, where the padding is, I'm very impressed with it. I'll try and get around here as well. And it's giving you this little bit more, like a bit more meat on it, if you like. And obviously the window seal, rubber will come in on that side, kind of pinch that down a bit. I think it make it look very neat. So I'm really pleased with that. On that side from down there. I mean, all this is here is just trim. I put this long. It didn't have it originally, but I put all this here because that's where the panels go to. And I think there would have been a little bit of a groove down there that you would see, where you could see the paintwork, and I didn't want that, so I've stuck a piece on there. And you know, where all this is here, it's all covered up by the inner panels. Around, sort of, see where we've, you know, it's all down this side. It's, you know, you wrap it, obviously you can see you wrap it around there as you glue it around, and use your super glue, and then that's fundamentally it. What we'll do, see, I'll just show you this. This is the biggest cock up, so what I've managed to do with it. If you're wondering what this piece of blue tissue is here, now what I managed to do, I'll just show you there, and I'll kind of explain, you know, why it's there. There's like another piece of tissue on the inside of it there, as you can see, just about. Get it back on there. What I managed to do yesterday on here is I managed to get a bit of glue on my fingers. I mention this because it's relevant. I managed to get a bit of glue on my fingers, and I touched the front A-pillar with the glue on my fingers, and it was dirty, and I never noticed until it kind of gone off. So I left myself a big dirty mark on it, didn't I? Which is, you know, one of them things. It's what you do about it, you do what counts. So what I did was I got some super glue remover, and I read the instructions, and it actually does get stains off as well. So I thought, I'll give it a whirl. So what I did is I got myself some tissue, like it says in the instructions. I'm sure you know what's coming, and wrapped it around and put the gel on, what cleans it. Yeah, come to it. It says leave it overnight. Come to it this morning, all the gel's gone, except this knobhead decided to use blue tissue paper, and it's left a nice little blue stain on it, which looks a bit of a pain, a mess. I managed to get a bit of it off, but it didn't really work. So what I've done is I've put more of that stuff on and used a white tissue paper this time, and I'm hoping, I'll leave that overnight, I'm hoping it'll remove the stain. If it doesn't, then all I'll just have to do is I'll have to re-put this piece in it, which means I'll have to, you know, pull it off, refit it all and bang it on. It's not really a big job, just more of a pain in the arse and a stupid mistake by myself. But you know, we're not all perfect, are we, like? So that was that bit. But you know, the little other things I've come across with this is my first roof lining installation. And you know why I do it, I try and explain the problems I had. But I think generally speaking, if you were just doing a normal roof lining without the sunroof, because the sunroof is without a shadow of doubt definitely made this job a lot harder, and I mean a lot harder, because of how it pulls it in, it pulls it tight, it kind of, on all the radiuses, it kind of tries to wrinkle the roof lining up, so you've got to try and pull all them out as well, and that made it considerably harder. So if you haven't got the sunroof, I think, you know, this job is doable by anybody who likes to. There you go, car's come over. I've noticed it's kind of steaming up a little bit in this damn cold weather. So we'll just have to manage, because I can't do it. I'm not going to wait till summertime till it comes out again. But yeah, the problem, you know, the problems I've had, probably repeating myself now, you know, it's a lot harder to do with a sunroof in it, without a shadow of a doubt, as I've explained. But if you're just doing it on your own, I think it's perfectly doable. I think the things you've got to remember is start out with your equipment. You know, get all your equipment right. You need a lot of these clamps. You know, I've used these sort, which I borrowed from a mate of mine, and they work fine. Without them, you know, you wouldn't do it. but you can't get around it. You know, you just don't have enough hands to put it where you want it, kind of thing. You know, so you need a lot of them. I mean, some people I've seen use like a paper clip. They're just the same, but you're gonna need 20 of them, maybe more, of the 50mm ones. You know, and all you need is just to hold it in place while you sort of work it. You know, so you need a set of them. I've used super glue on this, super glue and an activator, so it goes off quickly, so you're not standing there ages while it all goes off. You know, it's literally a few seconds if you use the activator. I did that. So you know, you start on the job then. You know, first and foremost, you've got to be clean. You know, I've had all this lined with dust sheets to keep it clean. I've always tried to keep my hands clean, else you're going to have fingerprints all over it and it's going to look a mess. But you know, you will get some dirt on it, you know, but most of it will just wipe off, you know, with some cleaner. You probably won't get it 100% right, but you know, you've kind of got to make the effort to do that, haven't you, you know. And then, you know, when you put your sunroof on, then obviously you just need to do all your measuring first, don't you, to ensure that you've got your sunroof in the centre of the roof itself. You make your centre marks for that, you make your centre marks on your roof lining material, and you place it in the right place. And once you've centred it, you know, I would clamp it, you know, with a clamp that's not going to, you know, it's not going to let it move. And then what I did is then I kind of positioned it all roughly so it was all in the right place, and used my clips. So, you know, we were thereabouts, everything was, you know, you could see where everything was going. And from there, once I'd got it clipped up loosely, I started to work it. Now, working it is slightly different because of the sunroof. If you've got no sunroof in it, then you hook it up at the front, don't you, behind the clips. You pull it back tight, and that's where you tension it from the front. Pull it to back, so you got the whole roof, you've already got some nice tension in it. And from there on, you start to work it out, don't you? And as you work it out, you know, this doesn't fit perfect, it's a cut fit, you cut away all the excess what you don't need. But what I used then is I tended to put my super glue down the edges. Some of it runs down, you know, where the face, the door aperture, etc. Put it on the edges and then fold it round, but making sure that I'm pulling out all the wrinkles and all the creases in it, and as I'm going. And I didn't get too ambitious. I did, you know, 3 inches of it, pulled it round, held it, glued off, and then, you know, repositioned, so on, you know, just relatively small pieces I actually glued. So I've not got a great lot of glue on the way, you know, 2-3 inches of it at the most, and I kind of went all the way around it until I kind of pulled all the wrinkles out and it was all in position. And that's fundamentally what you've got to do. You know, if you're going to copy and do this roof, then you've got to be really careful, because this roof, when it's pushed up, takes some material off you, as in, you know, it's flexible material, but you know, it only flex so far, and when they put this on, it takes it to about its maximum on the width from, you know, the passenger side to the driver's side. So you know, this is where you've got to be exactly centre to put, you know, so you've centred your roof and your roof lining material exactly in the right place, because if you're not careful, you're going to lose, you're not going to have enough material on this side to fold round and apply your glue. So, you know, you've got to, you know, be very forward thinking as you're going. But I think then, once you've got that far and you keep working it out all into the corners and tensioning it up, only tension it as much as it needs, you know, ideally keep it warm in here. I mean, I've let it go a bit colder now, but I've finished now. I've turned the heating off because the heating gets on my nerves. It's so damn noisy. But once you've got there, you start to see where you're pulling the wrinkles and the creases out of it, and it's just a case of slowly working your way around it and making sure you've got some nice adhesive. Don't worry about your trim. I mean, I've gone round at the end of mine, and you know, where you fold it round, obviously all your door and your window seals cover up where where your trim is. But you know, I've gone round, once I've finished it all and the glue's all gone off, I've just gone round with a very sharp Stanley knife blade and just trimmed all the excess off. And I think that's a lot easier than trying to do it as you're going, kind of thing, you know. And then fundamentally, I think that's about it. You know, I think it's a very doable job if you fancy having a go at it, because a lot of people talk to me and said, oh no, you don't want to do roof lining, get somebody to do that, they're a pain in the arse. Well, they're not easy, but you know, if you set, it's like any job, if you set it out properly from the start and pay attention to all the basics, cleanliness, make sure you've got glue down to, you know, B&Q our way, and I bought some glue, and it was in a big pot about this big, and I thought, oh, that's plenty to do it. And when I started using it, it's not plenty, it's just a big can and nothing in it. You know, it's a real rip-off, and that's Loctite, that was Loctite super glue with a pump action thing, it said on it, and the total rubbish, just getting, like everyone else, a lot of these places, they're ripping people off by making it look a big container, think you've got plenty of glue in there, and there's nothing in the damn things, and that's a rip-off, and I think it's wrong. So if I were you, I'd forget the Loctite pump action thing, just don't even waste your money on it. Go buy one of the Mitre Fasts. I know a number of companies do it, Worth comes to mind, but there's quite a few. If you just go on the internet and look for Mitre, the Mitre gluing, Mitre Fast I think it is, use that, because they give you plenty of glue to work with, and they give you an activator. And if you're doing this size of job, this is gt6, it's not the biggest roof, but I get 2 of them, and that's all the glue I think you're going to need, and then you know, you just set about your job. And I think, you know, it's very doable for a lot of people. You just take the fear out of it. You know, it's like most jobs, you know, you'll talk yourself out of it before you'll talk yourself into it. But I think, you know, it's quite easily done. The explanation I've kind of shown you in the video, you know, how I've got it, and I've got it all clipped up. Well, them things you need to do, you can't get around that. So, you know, set yourself up first, get yourself a load of clamps, get yourself some glue, get your work area nice and clean, get your hands clean, you'll get super glue all over them. That's what I mean, that's what it is, part of the job, it's going to happen. You start at the front, you can see where the hooks are, you put all your bars in and you just pull it tight at the back, and that takes most of the wrinkles out in one foul swoop. Then you start working all the corners. There's a lot of rounds and a lot of edges to get right. Well, that's just time, and if you work it nice and correctly and safely without trying to rip the thing apart, you're slowly working all your wrinkles out, you get a job done. As simple as that. So I think, you know, I'll call it a video done at that, and you know, move on to my next section. This is actually the last job before Christmas. It's Christmas 2015, and you know, I'll take this opportunity to you know, thank you all for watching, and you know, put some comments down there if any questions you think I may be able to answer. And I wish everybody a Merry Christmas for 2015, and I may continue. So I'll see you on the next video in the new year, and that's me done. Thank you very much. See you next time.